I saw this headline and I just thought it was so funny. MAGA is the leading red flag for 18 to 34-year-old women, while reading is the biggest turn on for both genders. The survey showed what men and women aged 18 to 34 consider to be red flags for a romantic partner. Ah, yes, let's scroll down. Look at all these MAGA women. I got to tell you something, pollsters. I'm gonna have to be real with y'all. Look, I actually agree to a certain extent that someone coming out and saying they're hardcore MAGA, probably a turnoff. Why? Well, because like strong identities like that attract strong identities. So someone who comes out and they're like wearing a Trump shirt and they're like, yes, Trump, Trump, you're going to be like, I don't really relate to that zeal. You know what I mean? Me personally, I don't care if you do it. But I got to say something for the pollsters who say for men, 59% say identify as a MAGA Republican is a turnoff or a red flag. Sure, call it red flag. I hate to break it to you, but if these ladies with this Trump flag and these American flag bikinis, or, you know, I guess American flag-ish, one woman on the right, it's not really American flag. Yo, if they walked into any room, anywhere with 18 to 34-year-old men, those guys are going to tell you, I don't care that they have a Trump flag. Just that much. So when you look at this data, and it is funny, and it's like, do you consider each of the following behaviors as traits a green, beige, or red flag? 59% of men said it's a red flag that they identify as MAGA Republican. Meaningless. Completely meaningless. There's a meme where it's like a dude says something like, I don't understand why he keeps going back to his crazy ex-girlfriend. And then it shows this woman in a very, just like, you know, you get it. It shows the woman on the bed, and it's like, dude, guys don't care overwhelmingly. Older guys, like, I mean like old, but like guys who are leaving older than 30, let's say older than 34, are probably going to be more like, you know, I'm old enough to realize you need a stable human being as a partner. But let's take a look at all the red flags, because I want to break this one down. It's actually really, really funny. 76% of women say that it is a red flag that a dude identifies as a MAGA Republican. 76. And so here's what I think about this first. I quite literally don't care and don't think it matters. None of this. If you're a MAGA dude who is just screaming, Trump, do you want to be with a woman who is not like you? Do you want to be with a woman who does not also agree with you politically? In which case, who cares? If 76% of women think that it's a red flag you like Trump, wouldn't you want to just date someone who likes your political view, like agrees with you, and is going to build a life that works for you? If you are a woman who thinks MAGA is a red flag, you're not going to date a MAGA guy. So for somebody who's into Trump, they're not going to date someone who's not. And they might. And also, what does red flag really mean? Here you go. They have no hobbies. These things start to matter a little bit more, but the political ones really don't. Having no hobbies, 66% of women, 60% of men. It makes sense. Women tend not to have hobbies. Tend not to, but don't always. They care more that men don't, because men do things. Like men should be like doing something, right? But I also think it's somewhat immaterial. They say all lives matter. I got to be completely honest. If you are someone who goes on a date and you tell the woman or man, well, I think all lives matter, do you? That's kind of a weird thing to ask. Who cares, right? Certainly, if you're having political conversations, you're not going to want to be in a relationship with someone who isn't sharing these conversations. But let's move on. They say there are only two genders. I love this one. 34% of men say it's a red flag if a woman says there are only two genders, meaning the overwhelming majority of men are actually good with women saying there are only two genders. 58% of women think it's a red flag if men say there are only two genders. Isn't that amazing? Look at this. They are so unbothered, they never ask details. Men really don't care. That's what I was saying. Like, yo, a dude will walk up to a woman in a Trump bikini, and he's going to be like, literally don't care. The bikini, it's not the Trump that's the problem. It's the bikini. Here we go. They identify as a communist. I love this one. 64% of men think it's a red flag if you're a communist. 55% of women. We get it. I love this next one. They listen to Joe Rogan. 35% of men think it's a red flag if a woman listens to Joe Rogan, whereas 55% of women think it's a red flag if a man does. Yo, it's simple. My view is that women are going to start bending in the other direction towards conservative. The reason being, 12th grade boys, overwhelmingly conservative now, are skewing that way, and 12th grade girls skew liberal. What's going to happen is that men care less about social interactions than women, so the pressure is going to be on women to start to, well, I'll put it this way. The pressure's there, but we see that married women tend to be more conservative. Why? Men tend to be more conservative. Women, I believe based on this data, it suggests women are more likely to adopt the social characteristics and behaviors of the men they're trying to court, as opposed to the other way around. It also seems to fit standard evolutionary biology between the sexes. A man is going to be headstrong, egotistical, arrogant, and less agreeable. A woman is going to be more agreeable, in which case, if a woman wants to be with a guy that she finds attractive and strong, and he says, yeah, but I think these things, she's more likely to be agreeable than a man would be in the other direction, which is to say, as these young women get older and start to think like, hey, I want to have a family now, they're likely going to adapt their behaviors to become more like the majority of guys who lean away from the Democrats. They say, refusing to see the Barbie movie is dumb. Half of women think if you don't care about politics, it's a red flag. 29% of guys don't think so. And this makes sense. Women want guys to pay attention to the world and know about this stuff, right? Standard evolutionary biology. Look at these women following their gender roles. Imagine a woman dating a guy back in the day, and the guy's like, I literally don't care about worldly affairs or whether there's anything going on around us. She's like, we're going to die. Like, if you don't know or care about those bears and those wolves and those barbarians, that's stuff you should know about. There's the king says, we're going to come and take your crops. And he's like, I don't know what the king's saying. Well, if you're not paying attention and then he shows up and takes our stuff, that's worrying to me. For guys, they don't care if the woman's paying attention. They want someone who's going to be taking care of their family. Makes sense, doesn't it? They own a gun. This one's cool. Women and men mostly don't care if you own a gun. Based. Even liberal women, it's funny. They watch reality dating shows. Men care more than women. Agreed. What about all these ladies watching that show, Married to Strangers? That's like the most popular show among women right now. Have you seen it? 90 Day Fiance or whatever. Women love that stuff. Men think it's a red flag if women are into astrology, but women don't. Yeah, I kind of agree. It's kind of weird. Men don't like liberal women, 33%. Mostly don't care, though. Women don't care if men are liberal. They frequently post on social media. It's negligible. They say Black Lives Matter. I love this. 33% of men say it's a red flag if women say Black Lives Matter. After this, nobody really cares about any of it. But I do think it's really funny that 64% of men, this is the scale is based on women, actually, not men. For men, the most alarming thing is that they're a communist. Seriously. So if you're a guy and you meet a woman, she's like, I'm a MAGA Republican. You'd be like, oh, okay, that's kind of weird, I guess. And if they said that I'm a communist, you'd be like, that's kind of bad, actually. It's only off by, 5 points. But men care more about women being communists than they do about women being MAGA Republicans, which I find absolutely hilarious. Now, let's break down what red flag means. Red flag means you don't date. It means it's a sign the person may have other issues. So I got to tell you, I don't know what where this image, Hot Babes for Trump Facebook page. Yo, I guarantee you, any one of these guys are going to see these women and be like, literally don't care. Same thing with communists. Guy goes to a bar and there's some hot chick and he's going to be like, so what are you into? It's like communism. He's like, yeah, how about that? Anyway, couldn't help but notice your body. That being said, the science is clear on this one. Communists tend to be ugly. Conservatives tend to be more attractive. So the reality is you're going to find a lot more women that are fit, in shape, and believe in meritocracy who are supporting Trump. And you're going to find a lot more women who identify as communists as being like, unattractive. That's why they're communists. People who are attractive and can get by on their own don't want to give up that power to other people and share it. And people who struggle to get by on their own because they're uglier or less skilled team up. It makes sense. Do you have packs of sharks swimming together to go hunt fish? As far as I know, not really. Sharks do swim and remain in groups like all species like to be around each other, but schools of fish swarm together for protection. And that's exactly it. If you're smaller and weaker, you want collective protection. And if you're bigger and stronger, you want to be left alone to exercise your power. But whatever, man. I'm not a scientist. I just thought this was really funny. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up tonight at 6 p.m. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.